Then Jonathon Davies, and it is Davies, believe me. I know it's IES, but the former Welsh Rugby Union captain is lining up against Meninga. Darren Wright is his centre partner. Martin Offiah, the try-scoring freak, is on the wing. Tony Myler at 5'8", the former Balmain player. David Hulme at halfback. And the pack, Richard Ayres, Paul Hulme, Kurt Sorenson, Joe Grimer, Phil McKenzie, the boy that was born in Wollongong and who will one day play for Great Britain, believe me. And then also in the front row, Derek Pike. And that is all coached by Doug Lawton, the former Great Britain international, who performed so well with so many sides here in Great Britain and had a very short stint with the Canterbury Bankstown club. Well, let's take a look at the Canberra side, who were really running hot on grand final day just 10 days ago. Gary Belcher at fullback. It is their grand final side -1. John Ferguson, Mal Meninga and Laurie
for the Widnes side. The flags are out. And this has all the makings of a tremendous encounter.
Between the legs of Belcher and dead in goal. Out it'll come for the line dropout. So right from the start, it won't be Canberra now to receive the ball. Belcher had that ball dribbled through his feet. And now the line dropout and Widnes to come back. Now Ricky Stuart about to drop out. Gets it out on the fly to halfway. Paul Hulme straight into the defence, and crunching defence from Canberra. Pike, what a hit from Lance. He produced that in the grand final in Australia against Balmain, and he started the same way tonight. Myler showing the ball. Taken low, not finished off. Now Jackson has it. So that pressure in defence tells its own story. Lance hits the advantage line very quickly. Wrapped up by Sorenson. Now Lazarus. Widnes up very quickly. Stewart for O'Sullivan. Meninga. Belches into the back line and an overlap. Laurie Daley back for Meninga inside the quarter. Early trouble for Widnes. Meninga looking for the quick play of the ball. Stewart, long pass out for Lazarus standing wide in the backs. Quick hands for Ferguson. He dashes down the touchline. They put him over it, so the scrum will go down. Dougie Lawton, the Widnes coach, knows now that Canberra are stretching them out wide right from the start. Johnny Ferguson, who had a stint here in England with Wigan, and he has a Challenge Cup final medal from Wembley Stadium to boot. Grimmer. In fact, that's Ayres. Lance again. Producing some solid hits and really applying the pressure as Sorenson takes this ball out. Brian Smith, they really are starting to produce some errors from Widnes because of their defence. Problems down their sideline for Brian Smith will come to him shortly. Belcher stepping his way through. Out for Ferguson. The game opening right up. Across the paddock goes Ferguson. And finally put to ground by Derek Pike. Lazarus. A very confident-looking Canberra unit. Jackson. Right up the middle. They're finding plenty of holes. The signs might be ominous. Stewart looking for his back line. O'Sullivan showed the ball inside. Coyne down a short blindside for Bradley Clyde. Just 10 metres away on the last tackle. Widnes have been having to hold them out. It comes for Stewart. Towering bomb going to fall around the goal mouth. Tate, Offiah's there. Plenty of shoulders. And a penalty against Canberra for knocking them over. Just a metre out now as Sorenson slows down players. They'll look for touch. Here's the kick again, and you'll notice that there is some shouldering here on Martin Offiah from Meninga. The penalty against the Canberra skipper.
Well, if Widnes had any doubts about this Canberra side's ability to tackle, gee, they certainly would have those doubts erased out. Tremendous hits, particularly from Lance, and that led to mistakes in the Canberra side with the football, putting Widnes under plenty of pressure as well. But now the Widnes side, just outside their own quarter, attempting to get things together again as Sorenson avoided one tackle, but is pulled down by Bradley Clyde just about on his own quarter. Now Ayres, the lock forward, just takes play just outside the quarter now. Mackenzie dummy half, he's the man kicking. Sends Gary Belcher down to his own quarter line. Belcher's got to the football. And straight across field, being chased by Mackenzie, who pulls him down pretty well. Good chasing from the hooker. Now here's Stuart with a long ball out for Meninga. And Big Mal just charges straight into the defence. 32 metres out from the Canberra line. Can't get off, sir. Too bad. You've got the penalty's been given against him. So the Raiders get the opportunity to take play upfield. It's Stuart looking for touch. Not one of Ricky Stewart's greatest ever kicks. Finds touch about 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Walters comes up for the restart. Away goes Lazarus, straight into the Widnes forwards. Gets to the halfway mark, held by Sorenson with some support. Right on the halfway mark now, Coyne takes it up. And the penalty again goes to Canberra as Widnes too eager in defence up inside the 5 metres. Monsieur Desplat awarding the penalty to the Raiders. So Stuart again looking for touch. That's a better looking kick from him and finds it right on the Widnes quarter, so more pressure now for the locals. And they've lost the football. He's kicked it into the crowd. Now we wait for a second football to appear. The ball boy has it way downfield. Here it comes now on the far side of the field. The ball boy's been chasing one into the crowd. Finally got it. We're back underway on the Widnes quarter as the Raiders now get set to launch another raid at this Widnes side. Here's Coyne, a dummy, and got to within 8 metres, 5 metres of the line. Good strong run from Gary Coyne. Trouble now for Widnes as the Raiders spin it, but O'Sullivan sends a pass back inside for Lance. Lance is pulled down only 8 metres short of the line. Walters sets himself for a long ball, not a great one. Bounces for O'Sullivan, did well to pick it up. He's linked up again with Walters. Walters going strongly straight ahead. The hooker looks for support, pulled down now 5 metres short of the line. The Raiders right on the charge. Laurie Daley, a switch off his right foot, then pops a basketball pass for Coyne. It's been knocked down by a Widnes player and picked up, but there'll be a knock-on ruled by the referee. Referee Desplat right on the spot. No problems, ruling the knock-on. And Timmy Sheens breathed something of a sigh of relief as that pass was knocked down. You can see the hand going out, quite clearly knocking it down. Now O'Sullivan links up with Belcher. Belcher, beautiful pass on for Daley. Daley with room to move, has got it away for Matthew Wood. He's pulled down 10 metres short of the line. Quick play the ball needed. He got it. Blindside is Bradley Clyde. Runs straight ahead. Still going, caught by the ankles. 6 metres short of the line. Dean Lance got it back for Lazarus. Very close to the line now, the Raiders, only 3 metres out. Then they're going to spin it. O'Sullivan, the long ball out for Gary Belcher. He's got Ferguson outside of him, but he switched the play back inside for Daley. Daley looks for support. Big Meninga charges and scores the first try of the match. The skipper scores. Numbers and strength. And the try going to Canberra. It had to come. Widnes has been under enormous pressure. Meninga returning to the north of England and scoring the first try. Boy, they've been really applying some pressure on this Widnes side. And Big Mal just continuing to urge these players on. And, well, there you can see just numbers and sheer strength. There it is, Big Mal, just too big and too strong, planting the ball down. So the Raiders drawing first blood. Matthew Wood with the conversion attempt. Scored just 10 metres in from touch. And Wood hits this one particularly well. That's a great kick for Matthew Wood, right between the posts. So the Canberra Raiders, the Australian champions, go to a 6-0 lead over the Widnes side. And Brian Smith, they've certainly been under enormous pressure, Widnes.
Yeah, they just don't seem to be able to cope with the pace that Canberra are moving at the moment. And I feel that the slide sort of defence that they use is already coming unstuck.
All right, so Widnes now back to halfway for the restart. Jonathon Davies descended down. Canberra enjoying a marvellous share of possession. Belcher. They're out to spin this ball. Daley. Outside Davies. He's got Ferguson. He ran out of territory near the touchline. Jackson. All revved up this Canberra side. Steve Walters screaming for a quick play of the ball. Glenn Lazarus. So already in just the 3 tackles, they're back to halfway. Quite a struggle in this play of the ball. Ricky Stuart. O'Sullivan. Clyde. Basketball pass out for Meninga. With one hand, he just held off the defence. Wood's got support. Great try. Chris O'Sullivan will score right under the black dot. Magical try from Canberra. Their back line red hot in Sydney, Australia, right throughout 89. They're doing it here in England. Great performance by Canberra. A great try to O'Sullivan. And in this try, Meninga will be the key man. O'Sullivan might have scored it, but Meninga coming in now to congratulate O'Sullivan. He managed to just hold the defence off with one hand and then shovel out the pass. And this crowd that have been used to Widnes being the champions here in England, a little stunned by this explosive start by the Canberra Raiders. They had all the ball, and here's try number 2. Long passes out, picked up well by O'Sullivan. Clyde joined in. The basketball pass to Meninga. Now watch him just take on his centre 3/4. The opponents hold them off with one hand. Out it went to Wood. Great support play from O'Sullivan. Martin Offiah, probably the quickest man on the field. He had no chance. They were gone, and O'Sullivan was headed right underneath the black dot here at Old Trafford. So Matthew Wood from right in front now with his second attempt. Superb start for Canberra. Just going to add the extra 2 points. He does just that. And the Raiders now race away to a 12-0 lead over this Widnes side.
You can see here how Canberra are outside each of their opponents. Widnes use this sliding defence where they try to push the attack on the outside. But Matthew Wood's too good for that. Their hands are too good. The inside support's too good. And I think Canberra are just too good as well.
There's O'Sullivan, still on his way. Enjoying every moment as he just planted that underneath the black dot. This crowd roaring now their support for Widnes to try and hit back strongly. Lazarus with another big charge right up the middle. Walters out of dummy half. Maybe a chance now for Widnes, who, as I said, have not enjoyed much of the share of possession. Ayres, Sorenson through his hands. Tate had to go back for it. Now what can Widnes come up with the ball? Derek Pike. The crowd singing for Widnes. Showing the ball back. Cummins falls for Currier. He lost it. He didn't really know where the ball was. The hole was there for him. So as soon as they get the football, they've given it up straight away. Belcher with the dummy. Stepping brilliantly. One side very tentative. The other, the green machine from Canberra, supremely confident. Lance. Full of running, Canberra. Both benches look on anxiously. And Canberra now, and Timmy Sheen's not showing much emotion, even though they lead 12 points to 0. The kick down for Tate. A man with a big reputation, the Scottish Rugby Union international, who turned to Widnes last year. He was the man of the match in the premiership final victory here against Hull. Penalty comes for Widnes, and they'll have one more opportunity to take the pressure off. And Lawton has got plenty of problems, Anne-Maurice.
He certainly has. Dougie Lawton looking on anxiously. And his side really have had, well, they haven't been in the football game at all, have they? That's into the crowd again. To remind you, these pictures tonight coming to you from the BBC. Here at Old Trafford. And they seem to take an eternity to get the football back once it goes into the crowd. Now, Rimmer runs into some solid defence from the Raiders. Here's Ayres. Sorenson ends up with it and runs into trouble. Coyne was there to take him. So was Walters. Myler. The pass has been picked up by Meninga, and he's got a pass beautifully away to Daley, to at least Steve Jackson it was, who was there in the support as the Raiders spin it wide for O'Sullivan. Now Daley. Daley again getting on the outside of his man, but this time he's lost the football. Currier picks it up. Laurie Daley not happy with himself for losing the football, but it's given the opportunity for Widnes now to do something. The crowd's waiting for them to do something. It's Pike. He's pulled down. About 15 short of the halfway mark. Out for Grimmer. Then Ayres. The Canberra defence is too strong. Hume with his kick ahead. And out on the full. So the Widnes boys not having much luck at all. David Hume just a bit too big with the kick. Scrum will go down 32 metres out from the Widnes line, with the Canberra side leading by 12 points to 0. And the referee wants it again. Now he's penalised him. An incorrect scrum feed. Thought he was giving him the opportunity to put it in once more, but he decided to penalise him instead. As Davis finds touch 10 metres inside the Canberra half. Jonathon Davies, Rugby Union International. Now, can the Widnes side settle down and put some points on the board? 32 metres out from the Raiders line. Plenty of dummying. Ayres finally come up with it and immediately has given it to Matthew Wood, who's gone straight upfield. Now he's looking for support. There it comes. The support is there in the shape of Laurie Daley. Daley looks inside. The pass is back for Bradley Clyde. More support in the shape of Belcher. And how quickly this Canberra side can turn defence into attack. Inside the quarter, plenty of pressure again for Widnes as Daley gets a quick pass away to Matthew Wood. Slips it back for Jackson. He's pulled down 8 metres short. There's going to be a flag called out for tripping.
Tony Myler is the man that Francis Desplat has got for a trip on Jackson. He tried to straighten up.
Just a caution on the run.
Well, it's interesting. In the English competition, tripping, in fact, is an instant dismissal here in the game. On this occasion, Tony Myler survives.
And all we got was an instant penalty. So Meninga bringing the football back for Matthew Wood, who's favouring a leg a little bit. Causing some problems. Well, here it is, the original interception taken by Matthew Wood. And he got over the halfway mark, then came back inside looking for support.
This is brilliant football from Canberra. They are running hot, and what they're doing so well is that
they're just so keen to be where the football is. They have so many players in support. Widnes haven't enjoyed much of the share of possession, as I keep saying, but they're just lacking in confidence. One side really does look confident. The other, maybe not that belief that they can win this football game at this stage.
Yeah, that confidence producing all the flair that we've seen from Canberra. Terrific football to watch. Matthew Wood has the penalty place right on the quarter line. He's about 18 metres in from touch. Pushes this one out to the right, though. Can't any extra points. So it remains at 12 points to 0 in favour of the Raiders.
So Wood just back into position. They will get the football back. Jonathon Davies. The dropout. Down for Meninga. Terrifying start to a sight to try and stop this big man. 17.5 stone out in the three-quarters. Lance to do some heavy work up the middle. Stuart. Lazarus. Busting them on the fringe of the ruck. Unloads for Clyde. In turn for Stuart. The long ball out for Ferguson. Infield he goes. Stepping the gap is there. Johnny Ferguson sets his sights on the try line, brought down by Tate. Desperate defence from Tate. Steve Walters. Ferguson was in the road as he tried to pass it back for Lazarus. Momentarily things come unstuck. Belcher. Clyde right through. Great ball out for Daley. It's been called forward. Laurie Daley will come back. About 6 or 7 metres out from the line, the last pass ruled forward. The scrum will go down. Here it is again as Clyde beautifully put through the gap by Belcher. And that pass, very close to line ball, but ruled forward. Now Hulme with the football. Brian Smith, Widnes are just hanging on and hanging on.
They sure are, Graham. The pace of the game is just too much for them. The Canberra players are far too strong. And at this stage, Widnes are going to really have to rely on something out of the ordinary to break the ice. If they can get some points on the board, they might just start to flourish a little.
They certainly are looking for it before half-time. Pike, a much stronger run. The crowd calling for more of that from this Widnes side. Myler. Brought down by Clyde right on his own quarter line. Back for Davies. Gets his kick in nicely behind Ferguson. And the crowd will come alive here too with this man Johnny Ferguson. He's got Belcher in support. He uses him now, but there's plenty of defence up there. And with a few occasions so far in this first half, they've been down near the quarter line of Canberra. Daley. Right on the fringe, just ankle tap. He was nearly clear. Stuart for Lazarus. He'll play it just inside Widnes territory. Stuart back on the infield for Lance. He was looking for Steve Jackson, but he had overrun him. O'Sullivan. The little step. He's away and got support in Belcher. He ran away from him. Back for Daley. Daley slips. Belcher was unmarked on the inside, but I don't think he heard the call. Now Daley has lost it, and Widnes come up with it. Sorenson. Someone has to get something started for this Widnes side. Ayres put down very quickly by Jackson. Grimmer. Crunched by Glenn Lazarus. Myler. Struggling to get out of their 22. Pike. Good ball away for Hulme. On the last tackle against Widnes. McKenzie. The ball gets shoveled back for the kick. And the ball between Belcher and Ferguson. Belcher with a bit of an open paddock if he can run away from Myler. He decided to go the other way. He links up beautifully with Ferguson. This is great football from Canberra. Poor defence from Widnes. Still going, Ferguson. Incredible run from the veteran wing three-quarter, and the big crowd here show their support. O'Sullivan looking for their third try, Canberra. Steve Walters quickly away for Lance. Again, Walters from dummy half. 5 metres away from the Widnes try line. Stuart. Back on the inside for Daley. Just a metre away. Last tackle now. Walters quickly for Stuart. Long pass out for Belcher. Good defence from Currier. He lost it back, and Clyde has finally got down. It'll be a turnover. The best piece of defence that Widnes have produced.
And the first turnover of the match. Certainly Laurie Daley wouldn't be too happy with his handling. The Widnes side has got the penalty as Canberra's offside. And straight ahead they come with Myler. Caught the Canberra side napping. They want to quick play the ball. Now they're playing with a bit more confidence now as Ayres on the halfway mark. Turns the ball back inside for Hulme. Got out of one. Still able to offload. Back to take the fullback. The crowd comes alive as Widnes get into some good attacking position now. Nice flick pass from Davies to Currier. Currier inside the quarter. Finally caught by Ferguson and Daley. Across for Sorenson. A little shuffle from Grimmer. He's pulled down just on the quarter line. Now back with Pete. He's got it away to Hulme. Hulme's passed it away. A beautiful try and a great pass. Paul Hulme in to score. That's the best stuff that we've seen from Widnes, and it's produced a try for the second row forward. Paul Hulme. And the crowd suddenly come alive. And Doug Lawton lights up another one.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Ian. Maybe that might just give them that little bit of belief now that they can climb back into the game. It looked like Canberra by how much, but Hulme has got on the end of that pass. They have started to show something because they got a share of the ball. And this is how it all unfolded.
It's a touch of Canberra in the way they scored this try, because they wanted to quick play the ball a couple of rucks earlier, and finally they got one, and then quick hands from the halfback Hulme, and away it goes. And Paul Hulme running off his brother's pass in to score the try that may just get Widnes back into this football game. Looks like a ballet, doesn't it? The Old Trafford crowd really coming alive now. This is scored about 9 metres in from touch. And Jonathon Davies will attempt the conversion. He's a very good goal kicker, this fellow. The crowd has something to smile about. Davis's conversion attempt in the air. The crowd likes it, but the touch judges don't. Flagged away, so he can't add the extras. But Canberra now lead this Widnes side by 12 points to 4.
Well, this is the first time they really have got a good share of possession, and they were caught napping on the fringe of the ruck themselves, Canberra. This is how they've been busting Widnes. The Hulme brothers put it together. Good passing, the way they kept that ball alive, and they gave their supporters something to cheer about at long last.
Meninga restarts after some words of advice to his teammates. Ayres, the lock forward, who's been pretty heavily involved in this game, is caught around, well, I thought it was around the chest, but the referee thought otherwise. And Ricky Stuart has been called out. Plenty of talking from the Widnes players urging the referee to do something about it. So they get the penalty. Just 10 metres out from their own line. Davies will look for touch. The singing starts from the Widnes fans here at Old Trafford. Now let's see if they can do some more fancy stuff. See if their confidence has been built up from that try. They're 10 metres short of the halfway mark. Sorenson ends up with it. Anyone there for it? Yes, Davis was there, but the defence got to him very, very smartly. He'll play at 32 out from the Widnes line. Keeping it alive, back to Davis again. Daley's got him. He's lost the football and now over the touchline. So the mistake coming from Jonathon Davies, as Daley got him in a pretty solid tackle.
And Jonathon Davies, of course, being swamped by the defenders on this occasion. He managed to stay in touch, but the ball just rolled free right at the last minute and just on the touchline. Now a knock on from Canberra. A little bit of a... I thought Paul Hulme was going to come in late there on Johnny Ferguson. But Brian Smith, something at long last to make this Widnes side believe in themselves.
Yeah, I think Canberra have just got a little bit casual in the last few minutes, fallen off a few tackles, and certainly when Widnes can string passes together, they're going to stretch the very best of defences.
The fourth team ever to defend their championship title successfully, Widnes. And the first team ever to do the double 2 years in a row here in England. Tate. Now Widnes start to grow. Myler a dummy half. Showing dummies on the inside. Finally he unloads and it sits up there for Grimmer. Back for the try scorer, Paul Hulme. Man that can play just about any position in this Widnes side. Grimmer. Canberra are looking down the barrel at losing that good solid lead. Mackenzie. David Hulme. That pass to Offiah was forward. Allowed to play on. Back for Phil Mackenzie. And Canberra are now tested once more in defence. Offiah jigs, turns, tries to get away from Lazarus, but he couldn't. Last tackle. Up goes the bomb. About 10 metres out. Belcher. Knocked back for Widnes. Here's the chance now. Tate throws it back. There's Canberra in possession. But this is now turning into a real World Club challenge. The penalty against Widnes for inside the 5. That bench from Widnes will be much happier with the situation. Maybe a little unlucky there not to put another try on the board. Mr. Desplat waits for Stuart to find touch. And Stuart does that successfully at half-time. We'll be crossing back to Canberra to talk to Mrs. Dean Lance. Debbie, about this Canberra side and their performance here in the first half and what a year it's been for them. Now Jackson. Lazarus. Just outside the quarter. Steve Walters. Out of tackles. The ball away beautifully for Belcher. Coyne couldn't handle it. Widnes will come up with it. Not finishing off a great opportunity on that occasion. Now Widnes move the ball quickly. Offiah. He's come in looking for the football. Away. Beautifully picked up by Davis. David Hulme. Pike. Good strong run. Their last tackle. They just managed to get the kick in. Ferguson going back for it. Bouncing towards touch. Magnificently. He can't keep it infield. He put a foot on the line. Ferguson looks over his shoulder. A great kick from Myler. Now, the chant coming up. Or was it Tate that got the kick in? The scrum will go down on the quarter line for Johnny Ferguson. Tried to tiptoe right down the touch line. And when he touched that football, his foot was on the line. Good decision from the touch judge. As Widnes now bring it away through Darren Wright. Back for Ayres. Disputing possession here in the play of the ball. It'll be Widnes to play it. Mackenzie had no one to go to. David Hulme stands for a long time, and then Myler finally picks him up. Building their momentum again, Widnes. Grimmer. Beautiful ball for Mackenzie. Offiah's got a try. He'll love this. But what a ball from Grimmer to Mackenzie. That is confidence when you can just call your partner round. He drew 2 and 3 defenders. There was hardly a gap there, and he sent Mackenzie on his way. The Australian who, now because of his residential status here in Great Britain, has a chance to represent England against Australia in 90. Offiah gets the try. And after he had a successful season with Eastern Suburbs this year, 11 tries in 13 matches, he's put them way back in to this World Club Challenge. Great performance here. Mackenzie on the run around with Grimmer. And look at this little short ball. Beautiful the way he popped it up from Mackenzie. And Offiah, as he nearly always is, was there on the spot to finish it off. Marvellous play from Widnes.
As if Canberra was going to be racing away with this championship. We've got a football game all tied up. Sorenson beat the first tackle. Got a pass away to Marler. He's away. Daley's chasing him. The kick ahead. Sends Belcher around. Currier's chasing the football. Belcher's there first and makes the ball dead. The Widnes have really come alive here at Old Trafford. Being urged on by this huge crowd. The Raiders back with a goal line dropout. That move started with Kurt Sorenson. The goal line dropout from Ricky Stuart. Back to halfway on the full. Myler again. Caught by Daley. 12-10 the score. I think I might have called it 12-all before. So the Raiders still in the lead. And Widnes playing with tremendous confidence. Hulme. Ayres. Away goes Grimmer again. Just about on the quarter line, so more pressure for the Raiders as Mackenzie looked for a one-pointer, but underneath the post it went. So no addition to that score, with the Raiders clinging to a 2-point lead, 12-10. Now Jackson. And again he goes and gets the penalty. That was against Pike. I don't know if Kurt Sorenson can speak French or not. Or maybe Mr. Desplat knows enough English to satisfy him. So just a few metres short of halfway now, the Raiders. With Walters and the restart. Showing the ball several ways, and finally it's Bradley Clyde who comes away with it. He's beaten 2 defenders already. Pulled down 10 metres inside Widnes territory. Stuart, now O'Sullivan. Meninga found Belcher. Now to Matthew Wood, who's come off from the far side of the field to make the extra man. Caught by Currier. Dean Lance. Better defence from Widnes that time. Ayres it was coming in. Stuart to Coyne. Trying to get his arms free to offload. Stuart. Now O'Sullivan. The kick and chase from O'Sullivan. But it's taken magnificently by Tate. The ball bounced up beautifully for him. Brings the play back towards the halfway mark. Meninga gets up very gingerly after trying to make the tackle. Offiah. Meninga still limping. Some solid defence. As the half-time hooter sounds, referee Desclar blows half-time and Meninga
gets us underway. Across the long pass for Richard Ayres. Taken low by Bradley Clyde. Currier from dummy half. He was wrapped up by Clyde, who was in an offside position.
Martin playing on the wing, Wood into the centre.
So, Widnes now. Clearing right down to Belcher. Straight to him, not a problem. Steps inside Myler. Clutches at his face. Still down injured there behind the tackle. O'Sullivan. Coyne. Back for Clyde right up the middle. Big strong run still going. Beautiful pass out for Steve Walters. Ducks under a swinging arm from Sorenson. He couldn't unload. Canberra trying to start the second just the way they did the first. O'Sullivan. Dummies. Ducks under a tackle. Belcher swivels out of dummy half. Back it comes for Jackson. Steve Walters. Walters is clear. He's got support from Martin. Wrapped up very quickly by Offiah. Last tackle. Stewart. Little kick into the in goal. Tried to grab it himself. He sends it dead. It'll be back to the quarter line. So, the substitute on the sideline for Widnes, Brian.
Barry Dowd warming up. Tony Myler's got a very nasty head gash.
Myler just in the foreground, collapsing there in front of his own bench. Concern for him. Barry Dowd, 14, takes the field. So important substitutions for both teams as Myler has that wound clean. He's on his way into the dressing room for some stitches. Quick hands from Widnes. This match really poised now. Sorenson stepping right through. Good run from the Widnes skipper. David Hulme. Ayres. Currier. Offside. The Canberra markers not facing square in the play of the ball. Bradley Clyde was one of them. Plenty of chat in this Canberra side. You know they have to pick up their form. Incredible the way this game has turned. Davis finds touch just short of the quarter. The Roar sets itself up again. Lawton nervously on the sidelines. Inside the 22 they go. McKenzie a dummy half. Sorenson slips as he comes to the defence. Setting themselves now, Widnes. Run around from McKenzie. Decoy runner for David Hulme to go through on the blind. Richard Ayres is there. Good defence from Belcher. Now Canberra in trouble once again. Paul Hulme changes direction. He's had a strong game in the second row for Widnes. McKenzie across the paddock for Grimmer. Beautiful ball for Tate. Not completely tackled. Now he is. 2 metres away. Now Currier gets the ball out. Jonathon Davies was hit high. Somebody could be sent off. A swinging tackle from Canberra. Laurie Daley was the defender, I think. Is it Daley being called out by Francis Desclar? This would look to be a dangerous tackle. The referee is calling him well aside. 10 minutes in the sin bin. disappointment shows for Daley. They looked as though they were about to score, Widnes. It's going to be a long walk back. They, in fact, has been awarded the try. I thought the touch judge at one stage had put his flag up. Now, Mr. Desplat has overruled the touch judge. A controversial decision here. The crowd hooting Daley as Davis goes back for the kick. So Daley, now the long walk back up the tunnel. Meninga's off the field, and so will Laurie Daley. Now here it is again. Daley was the last line of defence. Davis steps in field. Definitely a high tackle. In fact, he did score the try. The touch judge was putting his flag up to come in to report Daley. So the referee hasn't overruled him. The try for Widnes. And the English champions have hit the front for the first time. From way out on touch, the try scorer to convert. Hits it sweetly, coming round, not enough.
There's Meninga, that knee injury, not able to get him back on the field. It's all iced up, as you can see. So Widnes playing with tremendous confidence. Oh, look at the confidence showing now as Wright links up with Offiah, and the English going to score. Offiah, they won't get near him. And away he goes, his little dance for the crowd. The Widnes bench comes alive, and as quick as a flash, Widnes are in again to score. The smiles tell the story. Martin Offiah, the initial break coming from Darren Wright. But this man cannot be given any room to move at all. Here it comes. Watch Darren Wright, number 4 for Widnes. He's the one who started it all. Off this pass there, the pass was a great one. And Wright was away. Offiah getting himself into a perfect position. The pass was okay, and that was it. Shut the gates. Offiah in the corner. Belcher couldn't make any impression on him at all. Jonathon Davies with the conversion attempt. It's curling around and just missed it. And Currier ambling along. Right on the corner. There's about just over 5 minutes left for Laurie Daley. Hulme will play it right on the quarter line. He's going to take a big effort from Canberra now. McKenzie from dummy half. Good run, good passing now from Widnes. Look at the confidence in this Widnes side. Throwing the ball about now. Grimmer will play it on the halfway mark. Away goes McKenzie down the blind side. Looks for support. It was there. Grimmer's there to take it. The pass was not a good one. Belcher's come up with possession. And Belcher will play it just about on his own quarter line. So the Raiders really need to get back into the swing of things. They've lost their momentum. Jackson takes it up strongly. 30 metres out from the Canberra line. Here's Clyde. With the Widnes defence working now. Lazarus. Straight ahead goes the big man. They've used up 5 tackles. O'Sullivan. Wood. Stuart, and a beautiful take from the halfback Hulme. David Hulme diving on it. Now we've seen Alan Tate. This man's got pace to burn. And he's got Offiah with him. Talk about pace. The overhead pass for Currier. And Currier's away from one. He's over the corner. The pass back inside for Tate. But the Canberra defence just holding. Only just. As Widnes rail away. Davis gets to within 3 metres of the line. Pressure now for the Raiders as the English champions playing with great confidence. Hulme got away from one. The one-handed pass picked up by Matthew Wood. He's got some space. Wood up towards the halfway mark. Links up with Belcher, and Belcher's put it down. And it's been picked up by Widnes. Now Widnes throwing it around. Offiah's done well to pick it up in his bootlace. He's got support from there. Davies. What a transformation in this football game as Davies from about 15 metres in from touch. And adds the extras. Everything is going right for Widnes. Everything is going wrong for Canberra.
This problem.
There's not a great deal you can do against skill like that. We see the difference in modern-day rugby league. There's Canberra dropping a ball on attack after Matthew Wood's anticipation, but then Widnes showing them how to do it.
And now it's Sorenson leading from the front. He's made some good charges in the second half. Currier. Now, Laurie Daley being told just what to do to get this Canberra Raiders side back in this match. There is plenty of time. The scrum will go down. Widnes to feed. Back out for Hulme. Dow. The dummy. Ayres. We've been looking for some runners in the pack. Daley just counting down the final seconds before he takes the field again. And Ayres has been one of those runners. So is Sorenson. And Hulme puts that ball down. There was a gap there for him if he could have handled it. Back it'll come for the scrum in Canberra now to have the feed, and this match really does, as Daley signals that he wants to come back, this match does really have so much of a repeat about it, the way the first half started with Canberra enjoying all the action. Now it's Widnes. But can Canberra do what Widnes didn't get back? Wood, wrapped up by Davies. Laurie Daley scoots back into the action. Belcher. The skipper now of this Canberra side with Meninga off the field. Daley straight into it. Lazarus. Back for Coyne. Just outside the quarter line as Daley goes wide. O'Sullivan for Clyde. Now Daley. Couldn't get it out. The ball's been knocked down. Widnes in possession. Currier. Ayres straightens up. They just can't control the football, Canberra. Currier put down powerfully. It was a great ball from McKenzie in the first half. David Hulme. Martin's going back there. Belcher will have it. Dummy beautifully. Still going. Well, that's got to get the same treatment, surely, that Laurie Daley got. Sorenson involved with Belcher. Players pulling each other apart here. Now, will Kurt Sorenson spend 10 minutes in the bin? Is there going to be some consistency here from the referee?
Laurie Daley's holding 10 fingers up.
Well, he's not. Here it is as Belcher was setting sail upfield. Did beautifully there to keep his balance and then copped that straight across the face. But Sorenson is still there. Canberra. About time to get on the board. Lazarus. Much more determination in that run. Coyne. They're right in midfield and just outside the 22. Stuart. The run around with O'Sullivan. Back for Lance. He's lost the ball. So Widnes. Play on, says the referee. O'Sullivan, he gets right through, down to the fullback. Tate missed him, and now he's had the ball stolen. Dowd was the last line of defence, and he's come up with a big play. McKenzie, Offiah, if he gets away, there's trouble. He's going to kick ahead for himself. He was interfered with. Belcher's going to have the football. He beats Offiah easily. The crowd were calling for a penalty. Belcher back for Steve Walters. Some Tired-looking players as the ball gets spun about here, there and everywhere. Of course, Steve's brother Currier gets married back in Brisbane on Saturday. We wish him well. Coyne, back for Dean Lance. The Widnes defence improving. Touch judges in. Sorenson hit the deck. There's punches being traded in midfield as Canberra run away with the ball. Lance and Pike were exchanging blows. The referee has played on. Walters might score. He doesn't know what's occurred in back play. It's the last tackle. Touch judge is in. He's finally seen him. And the touch judge would have been out there for the initial infringement against Kurt Sorenson. They're going to try and sort out a real mess.
Lance shaped up pretty well, didn't he?
World Club Challenge and World Light Heavy or Lightweight Championship between Dean Lance taking on a much bigger Pike, and the penalty goes to Widnes. We saw it there ever so briefly. Brian Smith, how did you see that one?
I think Dean Lance decided to take some matters into his own hands here. I think he's had enough, and I think perhaps just a little bit of ill discipline there.
Well, that's not a great kick for touch by the Widnes side, but they're able to find it about 30 metres out from the Widnes line. A bit of feeling coming into this game now. 20 minutes gone in the second half. And we've got a scoreline of 24-12 in favour of Widnes over the Australian champions, Canberra. And this Widnes side, it's quite astounding how their confidence has just grown. Remind you, they were down 12-0, and it really did look a matter of by how far Canberra would win. But then suddenly, they clicked into gear. And Canberra have had their problems, with Meninga not coming back for the second half with a knee injury. That'll find touch. Just about on the quarter line. Barry Dowd as with the kick as we see another substitute coming on. Who's this, Brian?
It's Paul Moriarty coming on for Joe Grimmer.
Paul Moriarty making his way on. Joe Grimmer shakes him by the hand and makes an early exit. And Moriarty goes straight into the second row as Grimmer leaves the field. So Stuart works the scrum. The scrum has collapsed. It's an awful looking scrum. And Canberra come up with a penalty. Right on their own quarter, Canberra. They need to get down the other end. Walters with the restart. Lazarus caught by Moriarty. Still able to offload though to Stuart. Now it's for O'Sullivan. Here's Laurie Daley. Daley's got away from two and finally pulled down just about 9 metres short of the halfway mark. Jackson made it to halfway. Now Bradley Clyde. Enthusiastic defence now from Widnes. A flick pass found Gary Coyne. He in turn's given it away to Lance. It's been knocked down by Currier. So the referee will pull it back for the knock on. We're keen to get involved in this game after 10 minutes in the sin bin. Dean Lance straight ahead. Good tackle. Darren Wright making the tackle. Walters from dummy half. Reaches the quarter line. Now what can Canberra put on from here? Belcher's gone into dummy half. Stuart runs straight into Ayres. A little misunderstanding, lack of cohesion creeping into Canberra play. 5 tackles gone. Stuart, now O'Sullivan. Belcher. Giving it back for Wood. Back for Stuart again. Now Laurie Daley. Out for Martin. Martin got around Offiah. Martin down the touchline, still going. Can he offload? He has, but it's been knocked down. Widnes come up with it. That's about as close as Canberra can get. Tate playing the football. 10 metres out. Moriarty brings it out. Canberra really need to get this football now. They'll be starting to think about the time that's left in this game. 12 points behind. And Widnes 12 or 13 out from their own line. Hulme from dummy half was able to link up with his brother again. They play very well together, these brothers. The flick pass back inside found Moriarty. Now it's with Sorenson. And Sorenson takes it inside Canberra territory. 5 tackles gone. David Hulme. Cross for Griver. Out for Currier. Currier's got some room to move. And Johnny Ferguson hangs on to his ankle. Still able to get the pass away. And out on the full. So Davis having no luck, and this scrum will go down just, well, it's a turnover, in fact. 10 metres from the halfway mark.
Bradley Clyde says it's about time we got something started. Lance. Lazarus. Now, Jackson. I believe that he might be the man to come off for Mark Lowry. Walters. Switch of play for Stuart. O'Sullivan. Daley. Kicks ahead. He's got support from Ferguson. Will it stay in field? It won't. Something different. It nearly worked out for Daley. He and Ferguson were on the chase. They were first there, but the ball just went over the touchline.
It's about the way Canberra's luck's going, isn't it?
Well, they've got to start producing a little bit of luck for themselves. Lowry still trying to get on. The touch judge trying to get the attention of the referee, who says, come across. No, he's seen the touch judge. So Lowry finally gets on there.
Entrez-vous.
So the game slows down as the Raiders wait to find out who's about to depart. And in fact, it is Jackson. The man who scored that great try in the grand final is off. And Widnes in possession. Tate breaking some tackles. Still not just off the field yet, Jackson. Pike. 24 points to 12. Widnes. The English champions showing the way over the Australian Rugby League champions. Maybe the warning signs there already for Bob Fulton and the Australian Kangaroos, who'll be here next year. Belcher. Ferguson. Away from one. It was ankle tap by Davis. Stuart. O'Sullivan off Clyde. Lowry gets his first touch. And this defence from Widnes has certainly improved from what we saw in the first 20 minutes of this match. They were just falling off tackles, and at one stage the scoreline looked like being anything in favour of Canberra. Now amazingly they lead so well. Daley. Ferguson. They can't find a way through. The last tackle. They'll be forced to kick. Stewart's going to try a midfield bomb, and the pressure falling for Tate. He takes it sensationally. They were charging down on him. He did it superbly. Moriarty. Can they apply the pressure here to maybe force an error? Sorenson. McKenzie. Loads for Dowd. Now this kick away from Martin and Belcher, and running well for the touch. They are doing it all well. And minus their star Meninga. O'Sullivan. Taken by Tate. Stewart. Steve Walters had only just got up off the ground from the scrum. He wasn't expecting the football. Taps it and goes ahead. Coyne. Links up well with Lance. Better support play from Canberra. Call there. In fact, Hulme had called for the football, so the penalty has gone against him. Very quickly picked up by Mr. Desplat. Now Meninga looks on as they find touch. Steve Lidbury alongside him there on the bench. Lazarus. Time getting away from the Raiders. Lowry coming from well back in a strong burst. Just in front of the post and about 15 metres out. They go the blind side. Belcher into the line. Long ball out for O'Sullivan. They just can't get through Canberra. Stuart back for Coyne. The defence is still holding. Clyde on the blind. Good ball away for Daley, who'll score. Did he control the ball? No, he lost it. Nothing is going right. All he had to do was control the ball, and it was a try. Daley runs back into the position as Widnes have a quick restart. Down is clear. He's got a ton of support. Wright's inside him. Wright will score under the post. Canberra were caught napping at the other end. That will be the World Cup challenge. It will stay in England. Offiah and Wright show their joy, as does Doug Lawton, their coach. Canberra didn't manage to get back into position. The quick thinking from Widnes has now seen the disappointment written all over the bench there for Canberra. Right under the black dot, which will just set up another 2 points for Davis. Now this was the no try for Daley. There he had the ball, lost it, and couldn't maintain control. And we're just waiting, as they were for the restart. They came back. Well, hopefully we'll get a replay of that try shortly. We're relying on BBC pictures here tonight. There's his angle for you. He can throw it over. He really puts it out of Old Trafford over the top of the stands.
And for Brian Smith, an Australian living in England, it's going to be a long winter for you, my friend. So the Widnes side now. Here's bringing it up. Well, Timmy Sheen's face says it all, doesn't it? Very disappointed. Because they were really keen to perform well in this game. With about 7 minutes of this club challenge left, Widnes well in control. Mistakes just coming with regularity now in the Raiders outfit. Lazarus showing his frustration. Well, no doubt you heard that. The attendance here at Old Trafford, a marvellous crowd, 30,786. And they've certainly enjoyed some fantastic rugby league. And look at Johnny Ferguson showing a clean pair of heels. Still going, Fergo. And look at Chica. Oh, he's an amazing man. Gets to within 32 metres of the Widnes line. And the Raiders come up with a penalty. Widnes wouldn't get off him. But Chica Ferguson really had another outstanding year. Still showing the way here tonight. His side is well beaten. He certainly has lost no spark at all. And the Raiders now inside the quarter with the restart. Perfect position to put something on. And there's plenty of talking and plenty of pointing. What are they going to come up with? Clyde comes up with the football. He's 10 metres short. Lazarus. Charging at the line. Pulled down only 2 or 3 metres out. Now Lance. Quick hands to Coyne. It's come back for Clyde. Dummied with an overhead pass and takes the tackle, and it's still about 3 metres short of the line. Walters in a dummy half. He may go on his own. Not this time. Out for Stuart, then on to O'Sullivan. They're going to spin it now as Daley got it on for Belcher. Belcher looked inside and hung on to the football. He's only 3 metres out. Martin gave it back for Walters, who charges up the line and is pushed over the touchline. Very, very close. You see how close he is. Walters just couldn't get there. So another attacking raid amounts to nothing for this Canberra outfit. Widnes will have the scrum feed as Hulme serves it up. It's gone with the feed. And here they come again, this Widnes side now with Tate charging into the back line. He's had a very strong game tonight, the fullback. Moriarty has it. 360-degree turn for him. We're just on the quarter line. Canberra player down there injured. You can see a flick pass from McKenzie. Gone astray, but Tate comes up with the football. Caught by Lowry. It's Dean Lansdowne receiving attention. I'm sure he's okay, Debbie, down in Lakeside Hotel. He'll be okay. Chicken Ferguson's come back for it. And the ball beats him, though. Again, Jonathon Davies finds touch. Ferguson looked to have it covered, but the bounce was all Widnes' way. So this scrum will go down 32 metres out from the Canberra line. The announcement being made to the crowd here that the man of the match as voted for over here has gone to the Widnes halfback David Hulme. As the Raiders come up with the scrum win, Belcher decides to kick on the first tackle. Offiah's come back to collect it. The bounce is going to beat him. Offiah's offside, he knows it. Now, well, what have they done here? He's given the penalty. Yeah, there's an offside play. So Stuart comes up with a quick restart. O'Sullivan. Certainly it's a strange decision from the French referee because Canberra were set to score. Well, it's certainly a long way out. He's given them the penalty. They're still trying to keep up their momentum now as Clyde takes it over the corner line. Even a little hasty calling play up when he did. Walters at dummy half. Lazarus. Offloaded to Walters. Walters will score. Walters, is he there? Yes, he is. The Frenchman says that's a try, monsieur. And Steve Walters, who got so very close just a little while ago, is in to score for the Canberra side, alongside the right-hand upright. So he's rewarded for a big effort tonight. Certainly it's come too late for the Raiders, but it will add some respectability to the scoreline. As Lazarus took the football up, he's done a lot of hard work, Lazarus, early on, and maybe went quiet for 20 minutes, and that was a great ball up for Walters, who showed great determination to reach out and score. Put the ball down right on the line, it's close enough. And that try was converted. The kick was successful. So the score is now reduced a little. It's 30-16 in favour of the Widnes side. Make that 30-18. It's about 60 seconds remaining, in fact. Martin got through one or two defenders. Now cross for Belcher. Then O'Sullivan, and then for Laurie Daley. Matthew Wood's done very well, but pulled down 10 metres short of the halfway mark by Davis. Ferguson got away from Davis. Lowry. Coin. Full-time siren sounds. Widnes, the English champions, become the World Club champions here at Old Trafford tonight. A resounding victory over the Canberra Raiders. Bear in mind they were down 12 points to 0, and they've come back remarkably to win this game tonight. A very disappointed Canberra side trudged from the field, but rejoicing in the Widnes side, World Club champions, and some consolation for Andy Currier, beaten in the Sydney Grand Final while playing for Daley. Reversed the situation here tonight, playing on the winning side for Widnes against Canberra. Canberra, it was a big effort to ask them, after 4 or 5 days of celebrating, to hop on a jet plane and fly over here and then build themselves up. They did the best they could. They seemed to be in the right frame of mind before this game, but it wasn't their night tonight. Brian, after 10 or 15 minutes, it was a matter of by how far Canberra would win, so full credit to Widnes for coming back. Brian Smith can't hear me sideline because there's a lot of noise down there. Gary Coyne in trouble as he's limping from the field. Johnny Ferguson wearing the Widnes jumper now. Coyne being assisted from the field. The championship trophy being presented to Kurt Sorenson, captain of the Widnes side. Listen to the cheer. The crowd acknowledging Widnes as the World Club champions. Martin Offiah now holding the trophy, wearing the Canberra jumper, passing the trophy right along the Widnes side. There's the lock forward play very strongly. A very proud moment for Widnes. They went into this match probably as underdogs in many people's eyes. Full credit to them. Andy Currier. And as the presentations continue to the Widnes side, Martin Offiah has come into the centre of the field. He's waving to the crowd and they love it. Running over to the Widnes fans. Very happy man, Martin Offiah. The little lads for him. Get out and boogie, Martin. And throwing the jumper into the crowd. It's a Canberra jumper too. Meanwhile, back in the presentation area, the players in the Widnes side holding the trophy, getting the feel of being a World Club champion. Well, as it is in every championship match, for every winner you've got to have a loser, and tonight it was Canberra. Disappointing for them to finish the season this way. But they are certainly true champions of the Australian Rugby League, no question of that. David Hulme is there to get his photograph taken. Received the Man of the Match award here, as voted for by the British press. The Widnes supporters showing their appreciation to their boys. 30,786 here at Old Trafford to witness this tonight. Now the disappointing moment for Canberra as they receive the consolation award. Bradley Clyde tried his hardest, as did all the Canberra side. Certainly gave it their best shot, but it wasn't their night. It wasn't meant to be. These are the fellas who were meant to win tonight. Now the photographs being taken, and the Widnes boys showing their appreciation of their photographers. And while these celebrations continue, let's take a break and we'll be back shortly here at Old Trafford, Manchester.
Tropical longs really fit your rear.
That man has an interesting past. I've been admiring it.
Sit where you sit and not too dear.
It's either his girlfriend or he has a beautiful mum. Nice and neat.
Summer ones, winter ones, new each year.
That's a nifty pair of glasses. Cute.
A look you can live in that fits your rear.
Do you ever look at their faces? Cases? Who cares about their luggage?
Tropical longs by King G.
From the times that shocked the world, the music that rocked the world. Tour of Duty 4.
I'm on the road again. Rag on the rag.
To love somebody. To love somebody.
You know what you need is a great big melting pot.
18 original hits from the series and the era. Tour of Duty 4.
Oh, we won't get fed. Let's go living in the past. Wheels on fire, rolling down the road. American woman, said get away. But there won't be many coming home.
The music of the 60s lives on. Tour of Duty 4. Out now.
We're the better appliance men. We do better deals. With better bump by savings nationwide. We stand for better service. We stand for better choice. We're the better buying team. We're on your side. We're better. We're the specialist. With better bump by savings nationwide. With service, wage and price.
We're on your side.
Australia's most wanted computer could be yours simply by watching 60 minutes of Australia's best comedy. The Comedy Company is now Sunday night 7:30, and Brisbane 10 and CCS Computers will give you the opportunity to win this $5,000 laptop computer, a certain success. Just watch for details and answer the question that will be asked, all during The Comedy Company, now Sunday 7:30 on 10.
Welcome back here to Old Trafford. What a marvellous performance tonight by this Widnes side to become the champions. They're just completing their lap of honour here at Old Trafford. Jonathon Davies there talking to some of the members of the media and just waving thumbs up to the crowd. An outstanding performance, a quick shot there of Kurt Sorenson too. Brian Smith, we keep on saying it, 12-0 the Canberra Raiders led. I just can't believe the way this game turned around.
Well, that's the strength of Widnes. Perhaps it was a bit of a mountain, too much for Canberra tonight, but you really can't take anything away from Widnes. Their handling skills, their running skills are just something else, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I was quite surprised Canberra. Any claims you think that maybe they didn't have their minds quite on it after the grand final?
Well, I thought they started with their minds on it, but once the wheel started to turn, I think they really started to crumble. Having said that, there were a couple of things that could have gone their way. I thought a couple of tries in the first half, pass didn't quite go to hand. Laurie Daley's in the corner that turned out a try at the other end.
All right, well, Kurt Sorenson, the victorious skipper here from Widnes, and a guy well known to all the Sydney fans, is just joining me. He's got the Foster's World Trophy in his hands. Kurt, an amazing performance, the way this game just came around, but you believed in yourself and showed plenty of character.
Yeah, I think that's sort of what happened in the beginning. We were, Canberra were a bit unknown to us, and, there was a bit of fear there, I think, as everyone is of recent Australian teams. But I think once we felt that they were just as human as us, we just let our football speak for, how we felt.
Well, you showed all the world tonight the way you did it, but what was going through your mind at 12-0 down after about 10 or 12 minutes?
Well, this team's sort of come from, a long way. It's been built on pretty strong foundations, and we've been in crises before, so we know what it's like to sort of come from behind, and we've learned over the years now that, if we know we can strong enough to come back, so we just, kept coming back, kept coming, and gradually it came. You know so much about the Sydney game, the Australian game of rugby league. It was always said that the English game was starting to catch up. Another show of that tonight. Yeah, well, I said that earlier on, before the game, and I believe that. It's just, that Australia's got that many more numbers of good players. There's no question of the standard of the game over here. It's getting better and better, and I think we demonstrated that tonight. Well, Kurt, it's another great season here at home, opening up now for Widnes. We wish the world for it, and congratulations tonight. Cheers. All right, Kurt Sorenson, the Widnes skipper, and the skipper now of the World Rugby League Club Champions. And Billy Anderson, I know there'll be some shocked people down there in the nation's capital tonight.
Well, Graham, they're filing out now of the Lakeside Hotel on their way to work. I don't know that they're all going to get there, but their enthusiasm never waned. I think a little bit of lubrication might have helped there, Peter Chapman, but it was a terrific game of football, one that had always looked as if Canberra had in control, and then they were able to fight back the Widnes side. It was a super effort by them, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, they certainly did. It looked at one stage as though how much Canberra were going to win by, but then that turning point in the second half, your opinion?
Well, I thought the turning point was the Jonathon Davies try. I believe that had that one not been awarded, that Canberra might have been able to get away with a match. There are always things in a game of rugby league that if they go one way, it can turn the game. They go the other way, the balance of the game swings against you, and that was what exactly happened there. Daley got sent from the field for 10 minutes. 2 tries were scored by Widnes in that period of time, and of course Canberra never able to get back from there. I must say I thought that a little bit of tiredness crept into the Canberra game, and that caused 3 things to fall apart. Firstly, they dropped the ball, they didn't have possession. Secondly, the intensity in defence dropped off. And most importantly, their transition game. That period of a football game where you move from defence to attack or attack to a defence, it became non-existent, and in the end that cost them dearly also.
Well, it certainly did, and you must remember too that Canberra backed up after winning the Winfield Cup only a week or so ago, and then had to make the big trip over there. So full marks to Canberra for really giving it their all over there. Well, they didn't win it, but they certainly gave it their best shot.
OK, Graham, terrific scenes.